Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny. That is Dan. That is Sal. Nope, he's sick. That is Dylan, and that is Hudson.
Wow.
Who'd you think was Sal? Which one of us?
Who do you think I thought was Sal?
I don't know. Me? Hudson? He's in Sal's spot.
It would be
Somehow he thought it was me, even after just naming me.
Actually, I didn't think it was either one of you. I just said Sal because it's so used to just saying Sal's the next name.
It's just
You just missed Sal. That's okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to do our usual Easter egg game. Now, the way this works is simple. Why would we spend all day, Saturday and Sunday, coming up with Easter eggs when everyone and their brother makes them up? So I will grab a list from, this time it's going to be GamesRadar.com, 22 of the biggest Easter eggs. And our cast of contestants here, with Dan, Dylan, and Hudson, and Sal at home, is going to decide if it's a Easter egg, a reference, or fluff for the article. All right?
All right.
All right.
Ooh, let's do it. I love Easter egg lists, man.
All right.
BuzzFeed.com.
Are you going to give us the list as well?
No, I'm going to read off each one. If you had the list in front of you,
okay.
you'd get ahead, and then that ruins what I'm doing.
Well, I wasn't sure.
No
if the
cheating,
images
Dan.
were
This
gonna
is
be
why
helpful.
we don't invite you to the game shows, Dan.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Just turns off his camera right now. It goes black.
All right, see you guys.
All right, partway through the movie, Doctor Strange and America Chavez are sent hurtling through different universes. While they fly through at lightning quick speed, there are multiple worlds that appear as nods to Marvel's comic book history. The most prominent of these contains a dinosaur, which is most likely a nod to the Savage Lands, a prehistoric world that contains a host of dinosaurs. There's also a comic book universe, which feels like an overall tribute to the poppy art style of the 1960s and 70s. We also see a glimpse of what appears to be the Living Tribunal, a cosmic being that first debuted in 1967, who essentially acts as the overseer of the multiverse. So is this an Easter egg, a reference, or fluff for the article?
Well, there's like four things there.
There was like four.
Yeah,
Which one are we referencing here?
That is what they consider one Easter egg.
Because I was going to say one
Though
of
that
those is, one of those isn't, and one of them is just a stretch.
Okay, so let's start at the top.
The Living
Do you think
Tribunal is an Easter egg.
Okay.
That is definitely an Easter
It's a
egg,
straight
yes.
up Easter egg.
100%.
What about
Especially
the
dinosaur-
Savage Lands thought?
No.
What if they were just going through Jurassic World? Like,
Yeah. I was going to say, it's dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's
No,
a dinosaur.
If it was a red dinosaur, to be devil dinosaur, Easter egg.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
dinosaurs, no, that's just a classic, hey, we're going through multiple different universes. There's always one that's set in the past with dinosaurs.
Right.
Because, it's just...
I didn't for 1 second think of the Savage Land when I saw that. I was like, no, dinosaurs, cool.
I don't even remember
Yeah.
a dinosaur.
I don't either.
So-
I'm on Dylan's boat with this one. I remember a dinosaur.
I mean, it would have been way cooler if it was just a universe where everyone was a dinosaur.
It would have been cool if they just went
Yeah,
to the
true.
multiverse in general, but continue.
who's the guy who just wants to
They did go
turn
to the
everyone into
multiverse. They did it in
dinosaurs?
one world, and then
I know who you're talking about.
The movie
Crisis
is
on two Earths. That's what we got.
Finally got his way.
the movie felt to me like an episode of Sliders. That's what I was saying in our review. It's just an episode of they landed in one world, dealt with it, went home.
Right.
All right. During one of the apparent cameos, I didn't pick up on this. The 1997 X-Men animated series theme song played when Professor Stewart, Charles Xavier, Patrick Stewart, not
Patrick Stewart. Professor Stewart. He could be
Stewart, Charles Xavier, dude. Oh my God, that's such a terrible name.
he arrives. They play his theme song. I didn't pick up on that. Did you guys?
I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
I did. I heard it.
It's pretty clear if you,
Yeah.
they
It
just
was
do the da-na-na-na-na, and then he moves in.
That's
Okay.
why they have
Yeah,
him
I
in
mean,
the
his-
little yellow wheelchair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not none of that is an Easter egg. That's all just like very explicitly like, hey, this is this version of the character.
So reference
X-Men. Yeah,
Is it
it's a reference.
homage? It's a reference? Yeah. There's so many words
Yeah.
that mean the same shit.
They all
Oh,
kind
they
of mean
do.
the
They
same
do.
thing.
But
Let
It's
me
a
catch
fine
my
line.
thesaurus
this
real
game
quick.
has started just like, I complain about how spoilers are now literally the night of the movie. Easter eggs used to be a thing that people did. Now it's just, did you guys notice this building in the background? I think it's
Yeah.
this thing.
It spawned from people saying like for example, and this probably isn't on this list because this list seems pretty good so far, but like someone in another article would say Scarlet Witch is in the movie. This is an Easter egg
Yeah.
to the comics, and it's like no, She's just in the movie.
Scarlet Witch from WandaVision happens to make it into Doctor Strange too, and it's like, yo, that's
Right.
the movie. That's the plot of it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No, we've gotten lists that do things
But
like
that's
that.
real.
I think
People
it's
write their
Spider-Man.
articles like that.
We read one of them. We read one of these lists, which is where this game show started. And one of the lists stated it was for No Way Home, which is when we started doing this. And it said Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire arrive, and that is an Easter egg to previous Spider-Man movies.
That's just the movie.
That's so dumb. That's so severely dumb.
Yeah, but it was to pad the article. Hence, this game began.
All right.
All right. Next up, we got the Baxter Foundation. During the first interaction of our doctor in Earth 838's Christine Palmer, the scientist mentions that she chose to volunteer at the Baxter Foundation. This is a group also found in the Marvel Comics. It is designed to nurture the next generation of scientific prodigies. Easter egg, reference, or padding?
I thought it's an Easter egg, I guess.
I'm thinking Easter egg.
I think
on
it's
that
a
one.
reference. I think it
I'd
depends
say
on your level
reference.
of comic book knowledge. I think, yeah, I guess it depends. It probably is technically an Easter egg
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you don't know much about the Fantastic Four, but like to me, it's like, well, yeah, of course it would be the Baxter Foundation.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I think it was pre-reveal of John Krasinski, so that felt like the only thing. Like when that scene happened, my theater cheered for that too, and then
Yeah.
they cheered when
Interesting.
they actually saw him. So they were very excited about
That's
the
so
whole thing.
dependent on who's there, because my theater said nothing about the Baxter Foundation, but they clapped for like Scarlet Witch and when Reed Richards showed up, and it's like, well, okay, so these are people who think they know things.
Yeah.
Right. I could see it as either a Easter egg reference or potentially a foreshadow to basically go, hey,
Yeah.
Baxter
Dan's
Foundation.
adding another
Baxter-
category. Don't
I know,
add
you know what?
categories.
Hey.
Just
Foreshadowing.
good writing. Is that the fifth category?
Yeah, there we go.
Fair enough.
All right. This one's fun. I'll help out with this one. Black Bolt is in the movie, but that's not the Easter egg. The Easter egg that is played by Anson Mount, who was reprising his
Right.
role from the Inhumans television series in 2017. Is that an Easter egg? Because they're saying straight up, that's the
No.
Easter egg.
That's not
I
an
don't
Easter
think
egg.
enough people knew about the show and knew that
No.
he was in that show to really catch the reference. So I'm not.
I caught it. I don't know how you call that an Easter egg. That just feels like continued
Yeah.
casting of character that existed. Like,
Yeah. Again, that's like saying Elizabeth Olsen plays Scarlet Witch in this movie. That she also played it last time, so that's an Easter egg. It's
I
like,
guess
no.
they did
Patrick
think
Stewart
that show-
is Charles Xavier.
Right.
I think that show has been so unceremoniously ripped out of the MCU that like, maybe that makes it an Easter egg, that it's a reference to something that doesn't exist anymore. But they've never explicitly said it doesn't exist anymore, so you can't make that
Right.
Yeah.
an Easter
Definitely
egg.
raises questions. It shows that they at least acknowledge that show exists and that actor did a fine enough job to play Black Bolt, or they just wanted Black Bolt in the movie and didn't want to bother casting someone new.
Right.
Hey, he's on speed dial, right? And I don't think he's working right now. So
We've already got his contract like back there. Call him up.
all right. Next up, we got Bruce Campbell's cameo as the Pizza Papa.
That is
I'm
an Easter
saying,
egg.
Yeah, I'm saying
100%.
Easter egg. Yeah.
Easter
Yes.
egg.
Easter egg.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Bruce Campbell is in like every Sam Raimi movie. That's
Yep.
why he's in this.
And because of that, he's in every early Spider-Man movie. And I think for
Yep.
us nerds, that's the meaningful part of that. But my theater clapped for Bruce Campbell. I hear some theaters did not.
Really? Mine didn't. Mine had no idea what was happening.
No.
All right, here we go. We got another reference, Easter egg, or thing. During the fight, Peggy Carter states, "I can do this all day," repeating the line that Chris Evans said as Steve Rogers in
Yeah.
Captain America: Avengers Endgame.
Reference.
Reference.
Definitely
It's a reference.
Yeah.
It's also a bad one. That line didn't need to be there, but whatever.
But she had to let Wanda know she can do this all day.
It would have
Oh,
been
okay.
better if
Then.
someone else looked at her and went, "That's America's ass."
You let that one happen in a movie, man.
After she gets chopped in half.
The legs are just sitting there. Is that America's ass? it's like say it
no,
like a question.
that's America's ass.
It's actually England's ass. Captain Britain or Captain England or whatever she is.
It's true. She's just Captain Carter. They can't call her Captain Britain. That's someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
Wait,
double
yeah, that's a
dip.
different case.
Captain Carter is an Easter egg. This is
No.
her MCU debut.
Obviously,
Reference. If
That's
anything.
just a reference to the What If episode.
Yeah.
her hair looked impeccable in that scene. It was
did.
like
It did.
it looked insanely good. I was very
Yes.
just like thrown off by it.
Did anyone else find it weird that they only showed her from like chest up. Like I was like, did they just not finish the costume? So their answer was just
No, they showed her that
they showed her.
when she was sitting in the chair. They showed her full body.
I guess in the chair, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, because when she got cut in half,
and when
stuff, it's
she
just like,
when she happened to have a jetpack and floated down for no reason,
Yeah.
they showed
that
her full
wasn't
body
in the
there,
What
too.
If episode, right?
No, she just had a jetpack.
We got Captain Marvel, who is Maria Rambeau, played by Lashana Lynch,
Yes.
as an Easter egg.
Easter egg.
Easter egg.
I guess.
I'd
I
say
don't- you
Easter
could-
egg
that's a
because
weird one.
people wouldn't know it. Like most
She
people
was-
wouldn't
it was very random.
understand that she was originally one of the Captain Marvels.
Yeah, and a lot of no,
yeah, I guess, like, as
it's the
a-
same
sure, as a
actress
nod to
from
the
Captain
comics.
Marvel. It's the same actress from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but like in Captain Marvel, like she's never been referenced because she's Monica Rambeau's mother, which I believe in the movies has never once been referenced outside of she was in the hospital and when she came back from the blip, she was gone.
No,
and
she's in
Monica
Captain
was like,
Marvel,
"Meh, meh, meh."
the movie.
she's in Captain Marvel.
But she's
Yeah.
not like actually Captain Marvel.
No.
no, she's not.
she's a
Okay,
pilot.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
She's her best
Yeah.
friend. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's why. I think it's more of an Easter egg than a reference to something.
All right, next up we got Clea in the post-credits scene, who I thought was magic at first. I had to Google to see who the hell that was. Dude, she
Benny
comes
and I
out,
turn to each other and we
sword,
go, "Is it magic?" And I'm like, "No, but that's
plasma
more like
sword,
Psylocke's
yeah,
blade."
Hudson.
Like,
He's like, it's Psylocke's blade. I'm like, I know, but this is the MCU. They change things. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
Clea to
I
Doctor
didn't know who
Strange.
Clea was. I Googled it afterwards. I didn't know that
Foreshadow.
comic reference there.
Easter egg reference or just setting up the next movie.
Setting up the next movie.
yeah, foreshadow right there.
Foreshadow.
You really want your own category,
That's my
man.
thing. That's my. I've added my category.
Can I have
say
a
it
seventh
enough, it's a
category
thing.
that's just bad scene? And that's what I will say this one was.
The third eye looked bad. And maybe
Yeah.
it was just I watch an IMAX 3D and I think that like makes CGI look more wonky. It just does. So I was giving a lot of I was forgiving for a lot of things and then the third eye pulled up and I was like, dude,
A lot of the CG is rough.
that one was the roughest. That hurt me. And I was like, you guys can do third eyes.
It's probably because they shot that last week.
Wanda's sons Billy and Tommy clearly have a thing for classic Disney animation. The first scene involves the pair watching Oswald the Lucky Rabbit short. Did you recognize that? I need to know if you recognize that Disney.
I did. I was watching it the whole time.
Yeah.
I actually paid no attention to anything else that was happening. I was only watching. There was a lot of gruesome stuff with Wanda tormenting her kids, whatever. I was enamored. Oswald was going on an adventure. He was fighting with his friend. They're trying to.
You're
Benny
our
watched-
resident Disney guy. You have a Fantasia hat behind you.
Benny watched me meet Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and then make an inappropriate joke in front of a Disney mascot, and I didn't realize I was so instinctually doing what I do in this studio, and I caught myself, but the guy played along, and that video also went viral too.
Nice. At least that worked
Yeah.
out. The relatively obscure character was first introduced in the world of Disney in 1927, though Universal quickly took sole ownership of the character. A replacement Mickey Mouse was created and a legend was born. As things get witchy later in the alternate Wanda's reality, so do their viewing habits. In one scene, you can see them watching the classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Easter eggs or just, hey, we already have the rights to these, let's pop them on the TV?
Easter eggs.
I'm
Easter
afraid
egg.
of this Mickey Mouse right now.
It's not the real one. It's
I don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I'm scared of
It's
uh-oh.
obviously
him
it's
life.
an Easter egg.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, no.
He's
Oh,
like,
no.
that one's like a traditional Easter egg where it truly is something that's hidden in the,
Something in the
background.
background.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
hey,
like
did you
it's
know
just
that?
a yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got the reference that this is Earth 616.
Well, you said it.
Yeah,
it's
this is a
reference.
can of worms. Have
It is a can of
have
worms.
you guys seen anyone on? I've seen a bunch of people on Twitter trying to have this make sense as still being in canon with the comic books.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
I've
like-
seen that.
It's like, well,
Oh.
no, they just don't care. They just made it a new multiverse, and they're like, well, no, it's still called Earth 1999 was the one before Loki, and then after Loki became 616, and that means that because this Christine is designating them, it's not actually Earth 616, it's still Earth 1999, and it's like, no, stop
literally,
trying
who goddamn cares?
nobody cares.
Who
It
the
doesn't matter.
Respectfully, who is constantly reading Marvel comics? I know this is your job, Benny. but
This guy is. Dan
Yeah.
is. Dan.
okay, but average everyday people, literally no one cares. They're more inclined to pick up a DC comic than ever to read a Marvel comic, and that's fair.
That's the funny thing too, is I get the vibe that the people who are trying to defend the MCU now being known as Earth 616 are people who have never read a comic before, and they just know that the Marvel universe in the comics is called Earth 616.
Yeah.
So like they know a little bit, but like I feel like if anybody reads comics for like a year, they'll know how messy editorial is and how none of this actually matters or ever lines up. So it's just like, oh, who cares? Whatever, it's a number.
Dan, what do you think?
Yeah. I was gonna say it's probably, if they ever reference it in the comics, it'll be like the DC where they came out with the Omniverse, where it's a multiverse of multiverses.
Right.
And this is Earth 616 in the MCU multiverse, as opposed to Earth 616 in the comic book multiverse.
Which we've already laid the groundwork for the MCU multiverse. So like that, like Marvel's Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. and those old shows existed in continuity on a different version of these Earths, versus the people are still screaming about that. I cannot believe that people still fight about that, where they're like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still canon. Dude, I love that show.
It never was.
No, the fuck it is not. It is absolutely not. It makes no sense at all to be in canon.
And that's okay.
All right. So the
not
next
everything has to be in canon.
The next up on this list is the incursions. Is it Easter egg, a reference, or I'll give Dad foreshadowing to a future potential plot line?
Foreshadowing. I mean, it's obviously a reference to something, but if they just threw in the line like, oh, incursions have happened before, and then they didn't say anything else about it, it's clear that incursions will be a key plot point going forward. And it's what creates, Secret Wars and Battle World and all the things that are interesting.
Yeah. The real quick before you go, Dan, I just want to say, like, I find it funny the incursions because we made a comment like, overall, this movie didn't have anything big ramifications, and there's one guy that freaked out on Twitter who I didn't know. I don't even know why this guy was muted forever ago. He's the most negative person that has ever followed me on Twitter. He just responds to everything by disagreeing, telling me everyone is stupid and that we're wrong, and I'm just like, why? I could have sworn I muted you forever ago, so I finally muted him. But
He made a new one.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's like he was getting through to me, but.
Right.
But one of his things that he said was, what do you mean nothing big happened? The incursions? And I'm just thinking, like, did you even actually watch the video? Because the incursions we stated were just a B-C plot. They weren't that big of a deal. They mentioned
like
that
a
they
Z
might
plot.
exist. Yeah, they exist, but Wanda's the problem. And that was my issue. And then all the fans are already assuming we're going towards Secret Wars. So
Yeah, we are.
I'm
assuming that.
Good.
I see it as a
Clean it up.
reference / foreshadow, because I think it's a standard kind of like I'm gonna say it's like Thanos' original reference and brought up. It's going, hey, this is something huge that can happen that we might build towards, but we're laying the groundwork because we can't explain all of this in one movie.
Okay.
But if we piece it along the way and show the ramifications that it has amongst all these other movies, then as you go forward, you go, oh, okay, I've heard a lot about this. It's affected different characters, so clearly when they bring it up, I don't really need to know too much else about it, just that, oh, an incursion's happening, that thing that destroyed a universe in Doctor Strange and did this and like, I think it's a foreshadow.
Doctor Strange's going to walk up, I have some experience with incursions, and then that's going to be the reference. It's the only thing they could build towards. They haven't been setting up any kind of event. Like, obviously, before it was Thanos' arrival is what's been set up and all this, and we have not set up anything through Phase 4. So I'm glad we did
Kang
this.
exists.
He does.
I think
And
they're
It's
tied.
not Kang,
I
Benny.
hope they're tied. Yeah, what the hell, Benny? It's not Kang.
No,
Yeah, what
they
is
said
wrong
they
with you?
set up Kang. We know he's going to be in Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
That is definitively when he will first arrive in the MCU.
I think what they're doing is they're going to do Secret Wars as it is in the comics, but Kang instead of Doctor Doom, because they don't have enough time to set up Doctor Doom.
Plus, Doctor
can
Doom's
see
going to be
that.
used elsewhere.
They won't do that, but that's what they should do.
All right, I'm going to combine the next two because we still have quite a few to go through here. Mr. Fantastic and Professor X. Cameos, so references, Easter egg, or foreshadowing.
They're just in the movie.
I think you could go out of your way to say that, like, Patrick Stewart is an Easter egg for the original X-Men movies.
For the
Because-
90s and
Yeah,
stuff.
not the.
as well.
I was thinking no
'cause
for
of
like
chair.
the chair is I think that's an Easter egg for that show. The 2000s movies, the
Okay.
original
Yeah.
X-Men movies.
I think
he's an
him doing
Easter egg for
the this thing. That's an Easter egg.
That's an Easter egg.
that. Yeah,
I-
they made it
this
look so much
thing-
more fun.
I'm going to say foreshadow.
You say foreshadowing?
I'm going to say foreshadow for the same reason
Are
I
you
was
saying
talking to
everything
Benny
is
about this.
foreshadowing?
No.
Yeah, to be
this one-
fair, hold
I
on.
know.
This whole movie is foreshadowing for other movies.
So the reason why, and I had this discussion with Benny, is every single character that was in a different multiverse was the exact same counterpart as they were in the main universe.
Yeah.
'Cause like Peggy Carter was Peggy Carter.
Carter.
Like Maria Rambeau was Maria Rambeau. So the foreshadow is John Krasinski is Reed Richards. Whether or not he's Mr. Fantastic in our universe, he is Reed Richards. Patrick Stewart is Charles Xavier.
That's a
The
bad
Patrick
idea.
Stewart one, I will say that you can slightly alter because they do their weird like time travel. We mess with everything and it changes stuff. I'll give them that. But like everyone
they'll
else
have to
was
recast
the
it.
exact counterpart. So I see it more as like in the same way with the Baxter Foundation. Maybe we'll just get them go to the Baxter Foundation and Reed is like, hey, yeah, I made this foundation. I'm not anyone special, but I'm a smart guy.
Right.
Riddle
Like-
me this then.
I am
What
a
does
smart
War
guy.
Machine look like throughout the multiverse?
You know what?
Terrence
What does
Howard.
Bruce
That one.
Banner look like?
No, and we did get the, in Spider-Man No Way Home, Toby and Andrew confirmed that you can have your counterpart look entirely different from you and be
Boom,
Peter
Dan.
Parker.
Yeah.
Theory out the window.
No,
All right, next
no,
up.
no. Dan, I love you.
I know. I think it's a solid.
I mean,
think
in
it's a
that,
solid idea.
in that case,
because
the character still exists.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even
But
if it's
I
not
think
that actor,
in a vacuum,
it's the character.
like in a vacuum, the multiverse that we see in Doctor Strange is consistent with that idea. So I think that's a good
That
point
being
to
said,
say.
if nothing's
be the
done
same
with
guy.
it, then yeah, you could say
Then it doesn't
Easter
matter,
egg.
right?
Yeah.
But I
Next up,
see-
Easter egg wise, we've got an Oldsmobile that was in the floating in the air when they were walking around the world that had been at the aftermath of the incursion.
What
That
mobile?
Oldsmobile, the car.
An Oldsmobile.
Thank you.
Oldsmobile?
Yeah, it's a car.
It's an
it's a-
actual
I don't know what that is.
car.
Anyway, it's a
actual
car that has been in
brand.
all of Sam Raimi's films, from Evil Dead to the first
Oh,
Spider-Man.
okay.
Easter
So-
egg.
Easter egg.
That's the
Easter egg. I'm giving that one
A
an Easter egg.
hands down Easter egg, yeah.
Very cool.
Reed Richards' children, the mention of his wife and his kids. Easter
I was
egg.
going to say that. That's the Easter egg.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I have my own kids. One of them can bend reality, Wanda. You don't want to mess with them. By the way, don't seal up Black
Yeah.
Bolt's mouth because,
Yeah. I'm
What
the
a can of
smartest
worms.
guy. Let me tell you how his powers work so that you can nullify them.
Bro, I don't know how Sam Raimi was allowed to put that into an MCU movie, and I'm so glad he did.
People are
Good
so upset.
Lord.
I read a Variety
That's-
article that was like, "How did this movie get PG-13?" I was
Yeah,
like, what?
I was saying that scene. People are saying like could have put it more towards the R rating of
His head
imploding
blew
your
out.
own brain,
Should have been more of that.
like
Honestly,
It should've
like
been the
slicing
boys.
someone in half with a shield.
I'm thinking of the
like-
I wanted to
13-year-olds
see
that
it.
have gone to see that. I did too. The 13-year-olds that went to go see this movie. That like this movie is truly horrifying. I think there are several scenes that like literally like Elizabeth Olsen scares the shit out of me in this movie. She's
Oh, I
so
loved
great.
it. I loved the horror elements of this movie. But
I
let's
feel
keep going
like
because
the-
we still have quite a few to go through. This
I
is
was
going to be.
say, I feel like the Venom directors were watching this going, we could get away with that? What the hell?
All right, Rintra, the green minotaur creature that was just kind of there. Easter egg.
Yep.
I'm going to say Easter egg because he didn't do anything.
Easter egg.
That's an
Yeah.
Easter egg.
He was
Got
just
top
some guy.
billing at the end of the movie for some reason, but still
Yeah, that
didn't do anything.
was-
Why
a
did he
little
get
odd,
top
but-
billing?
Good, good agent, I guess.
I mean, if you got a Minotaur's agent, of course he's going to get top billing. Thanos. The references to Thanos that you can even see his body in the flashback sequence involving Doctor Strange.
That's just in the movie.
That's
Part
just
of the
a plot
plot.
point.
Just a reference.
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reference.
The Book of Vashanti. That's literally the story. How
a
is that
plot
That's a
Easter egg?
core plot point.
Right? What?
The whole
literal
movie's about
plot point.
getting that book.
Yeah, I think if you want to say like all of the magic Strange uses, I don't know enough about Doctor Strange to tie that back into the comics, but I'm pretty sure that all of the magic he uses is named in the comics.
Yeah.
At least
I
in the
can see
first
that, yeah.
movie, and before this, they were pretty consistent about that. Like when he uses those red chains, like that's a specific spell that he calls
Crimson
upon.
Bands of Sidorak.
So I
you
didn't
go.
know this. Fun fact. I looked up
Wow.
actually what Doctor Strange's actual power set is. Okay?
Magic.
Literally, he can do anything. Like everything from
And medical
warp
degree.
reality and a medical. Like he can literally do anything. But when he says the name of something like Sidorak, he's actually summoning that demon being or whatever to give him the power for a moment.
He's conjuring through. Yeah,
I didn't
always
know
love
that's
that
what he
kind
was
of stuff.
doing.
He's asking for permission to use their power,
Yeah.
which is why like he gets into hot water a lot. Like if he pisses off one of those gods, he just can't use those powers anymore.
But I didn't know that I just thought he was saying what they are, like, almost like anime style. Like,
Kamehameha.
Get me.
all right, this one I'll give as an Easter egg. Ultron bots.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Because there was
I get
no
reference.
They say the name Ultron at one point. I think that was the moment. Because if they just kept the visual thing, it's like, okay, they're just keeping it in visual continuity with the MCU, but they threw out the name because they were the Ultron Protocol.
I think that's something that's like, I guess to me that's more of a story beat because it is like environmental storytelling, which is like they did it really well in this movie where there wasn't a line where they were like, the Illuminati was like, our Iron Man died and left these Ultron robots behind. It was just like that. You can infer that from the fact that they're here, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, and that leaves us with Wanda's first multiverse dream in Doctor Strange 2 is accompanied by the chimes of her title credits in WandaVision.
I didn't catch that. That's cool.
I didn't catch that. Yeah.
Easter egg.
Easter
then.
egg.
Great
Yeah.
Easter egg.
And last thing, the Days of Future Past. Professor X tells Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness that just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever. The reason why the line sounds familiar is Xavier says it to his younger self in the X-Men Days of Future Past movie.
I caught that. That's an
okay.
Easter
I
egg.
thought it sounded familiar.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an Easter egg.
Neat.
I was a big fan of James McAvoy, so I watched all those movies.
I did not
great.
know that. So yes, I like that.
Good one.
Yeah.
And that
we
is the
think-
Easter eggs. Is this a good Easter egg list or is this a fluff list?
That one's
50-50.
better than
It's
most
better
of the
than
ones
most.
we've seen.
I'll give you this. There wasn't much fluff in that. There was just a little confusion between a reference and an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll give you that. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today. Let me know down below if you like our Easter egg game, and make sure you join us next time by joining the Absolute Armada. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you right here next time.